Mr. Seth with a thumbs up. It's showtime!
He gets into it. It's just bad.
Wild, awesome.
He's cool. He's tough.
He's nuts.
Because we just like him. He's got a swamp in it.
Anything for the crowd to scream.
Houston! Gravedigger's in the house! Taurus and Gravedigger! Gravedigger and Taurus, even Digger pulls it out! Oh yeah! He races on to the next round! Gravedigger out doing what he likes to do!
Like some high-flying, high-speed, full-throttle car crush.
Gravedigger with a successful by-run and a hairpin turn!
Get it here, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis Anderson and the
Gravedigger!
The fans are the ones that drive me. You know, when you hear them cheering for you, and I just set this driving style way back when I first started, and it's a reputation I built, and I got to live up to it.
You asked for it.
How'd you come up with the name Gravedigger?
I made it up years ago. I had one of my friends that I kind of grew up with through high school. I worked for his family on a farm. I always was scratching the junk together, trying to get me something going. And I told him one night in front of a bunch of our friends that worked with us on the farm, we were kind of mouthing off to each other. And I said, Gary, I said, I'll take this old junk and dig you a grave. And then all the guys used to call me Gravedigger from then on out. 300 miles back then was a long ways from home. And now it's 3,000 miles is a long ways from home. And I do that all the time. We're on our way to West Lebanon. It's one of our fastest outdoor courses that we do for United States Hot Rod Association. It's a treacherous track. I've turned over, crashed, and burned there. I've blown motors.
We have about 135 feet between the cars here. It's probably one of the fastest, the highest tracks we run all year long.
Had the truck on two wheels. I've been in that wall, but it's an awesome track. My favorite place to race is the Superdome, the Silverdome, the Kingdome, inside places. I like those big places, the Houston, Texas, and the Astrodome. Any of the big stadiums like Anaheim Stadium, Orange Bowl, the Gator Bowl, they're all great places. You get a bunch of people in there at one time, man. You get 50,000 to 70,000 people cheering for you. You'll either win that race or tear your truck up. I know in Tampa one year I lost the rear end out of the truck because I was sitting at the line with Porter. We were having problems with the staging lights. They told Porter to leave on the red light. I didn't know it. I thought he had red lighted, so I take off to chase him down. I tear the rear end out of the truck, and I mean, it came completely from underneath the truck, and it slaps down on the tail and almost turned the truck over. If you come down and you break a wheel off, that's kind of a hard crash. It's probably about the closest thing to an airplane crash without getting killed, I guess. A lot of times when I crash, you see a rear end come out from underneath the truck, it's because we either broke a heim joint or broke a four-link bar, and the rear end will roll out from underneath the truck. Heim joint is a part on the truck that screws into the end of a four-link bar. The four-link bar is one of the trailing arms that attaches to the rear end to the chassis of the truck that stabilizes the rear end and holds the rear end underneath the vehicle. I've done a lot of banging around there. Matter of fact, I've done a lot of banging around in a bunch of places.
You asked for it.
How many times have you rolled over?
I've rolled over so many times I can't even keep up. I remember in Pontiac one time, man, a crazy run. It's when I had a locker in the rear end. I'd go into the turn, the truck comes up, I try to drive out of the rollover, and it done like a flying leap and just turned upside down in the air. That was a pretty crazy rollover. And I remember crawling out of that crash in Pontiac, and I just didn't know, I didn't know how many times I'd flipped over. I wanted to get out and see how bad the truck was tore up. Had a little bit of smoke inside, and I didn't want anything to catch on fire, but heck, it was A-OK. But Pontiac, I've done several rollovers there. Houston, Texas, the first round that we came up, there was a qualifying. I was racing the Wild Thing. You know, I was kind of worried about the track being a little sticky in the turns, especially in a brand new truck. I didn't know if I was going to be able to scoot through the turn or not. My motor wasn't running up to snuff, and heck, before it was all over with, I ended up turning the truck over, went out in freestyle. As the truck went up on two wheels, I was trying to save it, and the tire broke off the truck, and it crashed on over on its nose. But that was the best place to turn over a brand new piece of equipment if you want to tear it up. It was 73,000 people there, and the fans were going crazy. Rolling over when you're racing is not really the coolest racing out there. The fans love it, but the best racing is a nice, clean, heads-up run. 1993 in the New Orleans Superdome. We had a great weekend of racing. We were racing a point series, and we started out, the first round was, I think, Kodiak. And Kodiak flipped the truck over.
I was sliding around the turns like flat tracking. He just was getting a lot of side bite. The truck rocked up and rolled over pretty easy. The only thing that bothered me is I just had to drive by him, and I felt bad about leaving somebody wounded beside the road, which he wasn't wounded, but just didn't want to leave him behind, you know.
All through that night, we were running really good. Each round that I went, I felt like I was getting a little faster with the truck.
Dennis Anderson gets a great win over Predator. He's going to the finals.
Once I got the truck straight enough that I could shoot it to the cars, man, I just stood on the old big motor and let her fly. What can I say, man? I couldn't ask for a better night.
Your winner in New Orleans, Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger.
We got our truck tucked away in the trailer behind us here, man. We should be good to go. We'll just have to see what happens. I hope I don't get that West Lebanon curse that gets me sometime. Once we get to the show, we unload our truck, and you'll see the truck come out of the trailer. It's on little transport tires. These little skinny training wheels, we call them. But we have to jack the truck up, take the small tires off, put the giant monster tires on. The giant monster tires weigh 700 pounds. There's an art to walking those tires around and putting them on. We may have a slippery night, man. I hate it when it rains. But hey, man, we'll deal with it. We got those big tires. We'll slip and slide, but we'll try to get to the finish line first. Actually taking off in 8 or 10 inches of water in that hole right there. But like I say, man, that bottom, you couldn't get any traction in the top lane. And when we got to the other end, we just totally, you know, I mean, it was like you're out of control. When you get down there, you can't stop. We're slinging mud everywhere. The crowd loves it. When I got down here in the bottom lane, I started winning.
You asked for it.
What is it like to crash?
There's been a lot of times that I thought that I was losing the truck. I've gotten over to the point of no return, and that's usually when you've got dirt spraying through the window and your glass is cracking. That's the point of no return.
Whoa, baby. Yeah, we turned her over. She's over. That's what the people want. That's what they got. I got a tore-up truck.
I made a bad twitch when I came off the last pile of cars. The truck skidded around with me, and I hit a drain, a little small drain. It's hard to see in the video, but I knew that drain was there. I'd hit it before, and the truck tipped over and skidded over on its roof. I was far enough ahead of him that the UFO actually had to try to stop to keep from running into my side. Probably crashed more than anybody else out here on the circuit. In the Georgia Dome one time, we had some pretty steep ramps, and it was 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. And I tore down about a 25-foot section of concrete. This building was brand new. Old Gravedigger had scarred the wall for them.
I got quite a bit of air when I came down on the ground. It's like I was soaring for a while, so I was tickling the throttle, making sure I still had a motor underneath of me. When I got down on the ground, it slapped me pretty hard. My foot slipped off the brake pedal, and I was fumbling around with that brake, man, and I got it right there at the last minute, and all I could do was skid the truck sideways.
Providence, Rhode Island one year, I got out of rhythm with the truck and with the throttle, and I just bounced and pogoed from front to rear, crashed into the wall, smashed the top of the truck up pretty bad. That was a pretty wicked little crash. Monster truck and the competitiveness part of monster truck has come a long ways, man. These guys are dialing their trucks in, and we've got to beat this time and beat that time, and it's not a game anymore. You know, it used to be the biggest, tallest, shiniest truck would win, whoever had the most KC lights. Now if you don't go out here and jump 10 cars, you ain't in business, buddy. All the big boys out there, they're tough. That Bigfoot team, Fred Schaefer with Barefoot, they're good teams. Carolina Crusher, he's independent. Gary, he's been my buddy forever. And Gary is really a hard worker. He's a singled out person, and he's got his equipment up to snuff. He's a tough competitor. Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer owns it. Taurus, he's always been a top competitor. Any of those guys can win at any time.
Dennis is a guy you really got to watch because you never know where he's going to be. You know, he could be in front of you, behind you, and even on top of you sometimes. You never know. But no, you don't take anybody lightly, especially Dennis, because you lay down on him and he's going to get you.
It used to be when we come out here, it was like, well, we fear Bigfoot or we fear Barefoot. It's not like that anymore. We fear almost everybody that we pull to the line with now.
All the guys out there are fun to deal with and everything, but when we're on the racetrack, we are competitors.
You can't never think that you got too much of a break, because when you back out of it, even those old rookies will get you.
I don't think his elevator goes the whole way to the top.
They think I'm crazy sometimes, but they watch me. They love to watch me go first because they know that the ramps are going to throw you off. They know that when I go out here that I'm going to go for it. So they'd rather see me go and use me for an example a lot of times so they'll know how to drive the track. I always take that chance. Tonight here, when it dries out, this is really a fast track. We've got a quick change gearbox in our truck. We'll gear the truck up for these long courses. This is a quick change gear set. I've got several gear sets up here. And then this is our gear chart. You can just add your teeth up, you know, from your top teeth to your bottom teeth and come up with what ratio you need for your final drive. This is where we come inside and we change our gearbox ratio. Okay, this is just a panel that keeps all the parts underneath the truck from being exposed. This cover removes by these Allen bolts. These are 2 jacking bolts. This cover pops off. You take that cover off, you've got 2 quick change gears. That's what goes into that gearbox, and it can step up your gear ratio to make the truck run faster or run slower. This place looks like a junkyard, but it's just a war ground. There's going to be high-flying action tonight. If I paid that money to come see a show, man, I want to see a show, and that's what I like to give the people. The funnest part of it is I'd say when I come out here and these fans are cheering me on, the fans are the ones that have kept me going. There's been several times that I was going to step out of the business, that I was really going down. My equipment was getting rough. I didn't think I was going to be able to be competitive, so I was just decided I was going to step out. And man, I read some of those fan letters and the people that give us calls, and they're the people that cheer me on, that keep me going, you know, in my career.